Hello, friends. It's been a little bit since I've talked to you. So today's episode is going to be talking about serving your highest good and choices and what that means, right? What does it mean to serve your higher good? We often say that in meditation, we ask white light to protect us. We ask for spirit to tell us, what should we do for our highest good and what should we get rid of, so that we're no longer serving things that aren't our highest good. And I have to tell you, I'm not an expert in this capacity, but I can just tell you the journey that I've been on while sitting here healing. So it's an exciting week for me because I play the bagpipes, and in where I live, there's a big Celtic festival that happens this weekend. And when I had my surgery, I had anticipated full recovery by September, because the surgery was in July, and it hasn't gone that way. Hasn't gone that way at all, and that's a little frustrating, right? So I've had to make some adjustments, and fortunately the two bands that I play with have been very accommodating. I can't do anything that requires marching, but I can do events that are stand-up and stand-alone. So I'm going to post some pictures of the two bands that I play with, and be thankful and grateful that I have the ability to play, and that even though I can't march, I can still participate in some things, right? And we know, just through all kinds of research, medical research and other research, psychological research, that when we're grateful, that raises our vibration and makes us happier. It fills us with joy. And so it's always easier, I think, to focus on the negative and not on the positive. And, and so I'm really working hard to flip that, to focus on the things that I'm grateful for. And I'm very grateful to be able to play. So you can check out these pictures. And I was thinking about some other examples of times when, when things kind of get sprung on you, and you have to think about, or at least I do, I have to think, like, does this really serve my highest good? And I realized in our culture, we think that's being selfish. We think that when we say no to things, or we don't embrace something that isn't, really our cup of tea or our thing, like that person's being selfish. And that actually happened to me pretty recently. Somebody like in the working world, not at my job, but in the kind of work that I do, really, really wanted me to be part of a project that she had created. And it's an amazing project. I just don't have time for it. I can help in little ways, but I can't take the project on. And she got very mad at me, and I was very passive aggressive and didn't, kind of stormed off, after like demanding to know what it was I was going to do for her. Like, first of all, this isn't my passion. This is your passion, which is a great passion. It's a noble cause, but it's not my passion, right? And you're asking me to take on your passion for your project, which isn't something that I came up with. It's not exactly the kind of thing that I do. I'm happy to help, and I'm happy to assist, but I'm not taking on your project for you. So there was a time when I would have felt like, oh, I need to do that. I need to help this person. This person really needs help and guidance and blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't serve my highest good. And my highest good is knowing when to say no. My family and my friends are always like, oh my God, you do so much. And I explain to them, I do the things that I want to do. I want to do Red Cross. I want to do Girl Scouts. I want to do bagpiping. These are things I want to do. They serve my highest good because they bring me tremendous joy. In my work, I do the projects that are in the best interest of the college and the students that I serve. I don't take on projects that I don't have time for because I won't do a good job. I don't want to spread myself too thin. And when people come at you and they're like, well, you have to do my project because it's a good project. It is a good project, but I don't have to do it, right? I don't have to do it. And being passive aggressive and trying to guilt trip me into doing your thing, I'm not sucking into that energy, and neither should you, right? Right? People need to understand that it's, of course you can ask somebody for help and then accept gracefully when they say, no, I'm really sorry. Like, I can't take on that responsibility. I wouldn't do a good job. I wouldn't be able to commit to it the time and resources necessary to make the project great. Your best bet is to find somebody who can give you that kind of time, and that person isn't me. So that's a valuable lesson, sort of in the work world. In the family world, you have the same sort of thing. Like, there's people who will always be negative about the things that you do because they don't like them. Not everybody in my world enjoys bagpipes. So or hiking. Hiking's probably more of a better example. There are people that I know, they're like, well, you shouldn't go hiking. Man, you went hiking and that's what caused this, and you shouldn't go hiking anymore, and you shouldn't hang around with hikers. Not your business, number one. And number two, I am a hiker, and I like being with hikers. I'm not asking you to. You don't like hikers? Don't come to my house when I have hikers. Do what it serves your highest good, and I'll do what serves my highest good, right? So, even in personal relationships, friendships, family relationships, you have to be able to step back and say, I understand and appreciate where you're coming from, but to serve my highest good, I'm going to do this. Doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to good advice. Like you're doing drugs and somebody says stop, you should stop. But when it comes to your hobbies or things that you're passionate about, and then when you think about loving relationships and lovers or partners or whatever, I am a firm believer that we have multiple soulmates. I believe that, that it is statistically impossible that you would only have one in this whole world, right? That you might have multiple soulmates. And soulmates don't have to be sexual. That it doesn't have to be, romantic, right? But you can have soulmates, and they can be the same gender, different genders, whatever. And I think, our laws and our culture has sort of said, well, there's only one person for you. And how convenient that one person is located pretty much in your geographical location, depending on where you grew up or where you went to college. I don't know that I buy all that. So, but you need to be in relationships that bring you wholeness, right? If one of you is doing all of the work and the other one's not doing anything to sustain the relationship, it's not serving your highest good. You're trying to build something alone, and that's not fair to you, right? And at some point you'll realize that. At some point you'll be like, I put a lot of time and energy. I'm a busy girl, and I put a lot of time into this relationship, and y'all didn't put nothing into it because you didn't care. Like, you didn't care about me, and you didn't care about the relationship. You didn't care what happened. It's not serving my highest good, so I'm going to let it go. Our feelings and our hearts break a little bit and shatter in pieces, but at some point you do get to the point where you're like, I deserve better, right? I gave my all. You should have given your all. And I know relationships are complicated. Anytime the heart's involved, things are complicated, but you have to let go of those things that don't serve you in the end, right? Because all it does is bring your vibration and your power and your energy down, right? So you want to fill your life with people who bring you joy. And I'm very fortunate that in most of the areas of my life, I am surrounded by people who bring me tremendous joy. Are there going to be people who annoy you? Absolutely. Are there going to be people who don't like you? Absolutely. Right? Are there going to be people who try to steal your energy or manipulate your energy or hog your energy or damage your energy? Of course, but you have to be on the watch for them and just say, I don't need to buy into your negativity. I can move right on, and then move on. Like, don't just say it. Like, actually do it. A week or two ago, somebody had asked Dave to move somebody for them, and it was this long, complicated situation, and it wasn't a good situation, and it was not a situation he should get caught up in, because there were drug people related. It was related to drugs, people who were on drugs, and I'm like, you don't want to get sucked into that energy, because people like that will just they're vampires. They're like energy vampires. You can't get involved in it. You just got to walk away and say, sorry, I know, I know you're struggling, and I know you need help, and I wish you all the best and light and love, but I cannot personally be a part of what you're doing. And he didn't participate. And, they're like, saying no doesn't mean you're being selfish. Saying no doesn't mean you're being mean. Saying no doesn't mean that you don't love the person you're saying no to. Saying no means you're serving your highest good and that you're watching out and taking care of yourself so that you can be strong in all the other things that you've said yes to. So, I'm wishing you all the very best of light and love, and I hope to see you soon. Be well. Bye-bye.